If you know Afrobeats, then you know Davido. But behind the global superstar is a father and a billionaire who built a legacy long before his son became a household name. Adedeji Adeleke. A name not often in the headlines, but one that carries weight in Nigeria's business and economy. A man born with a silver spoon, but yet choosing to work hard for the life he wanted. This is the story of Adedeji Adeleke. Dr. Adedeji Adeleke was born in 1957 in Enugu, the capital of Enugu State in Nigeria, to a Muslim father and Christian mother. He is the fourth of 6 children. His father was a Nigerian senator and his mother was a nurse by trade but stay-at-home mom for most of their growing up years. Adeleke attended primary school in Lagos, the capital city of Nigeria, at Ansarudeen from 1965 to 1970. He then was admitted into Seventh-day Adventist Grammar School in Ede, Western Region, now Osun State, in Nigeria. He received a West African School Certificate and in 1975 worked briefly at the Federal Ministry of Education until he was admitted into Western Kentucky University in 1976. While participating in a 20-hour work-study program to help support himself, he began his studies at the university in the fall of 1976 and earned a Bachelor of Science in Finance in 1979. With an understanding of the dignity in working hard and putting his best in whatever work he did, he worked mostly in the school cafeteria as a busboy and dishwasher. He equally worked at the school's dairy milk factory during the summer period. And it could be said that it was Adeleke's experience at his American university that led to his service with the Nigeria National Youth Service Corps, where he and his fellow members cleaned up a slum in Makoko in Lagos. They built community toilets in areas of the slum that eliminated the people's exposure to open sewage and sickness. Anxious to continue his education, Adeleke enrolled in a Master of Business Administration program at Western Kentucky University, his alma mater, and earned an MBA in 1981. He obtained a PhD in International Business from Pacific Columbia University and another PhD in Business Administration from the University of Phoenix in 2010. Adedeji Adeleke has been married twice. His first wife, Dr. Veronica Adeleke, passed away in 2003. They had 4 children together: Adewale Adeleke, David Adeleke, who is popularly known as Davido, Sharon Adeleke, and Coco Adeleke. Adeleke later married Teju Adeleke in 2015. Despite his wealth and prominence, Adeleke is known for maintaining a relatively private family life, focusing on the education and well-being of his children. His real journey to wealth began in 1983 when he established Pacific Drilling Company Limited, initially focusing on borehole drilling, water treatment, and geographical surveys. At that time, Nigeria had a serious water problem, making it hard for people in both rural and urban areas to get clean water. When Adeleke saw that there was a need, he started digging for both private companies and the government. His first big job was with the government of Osun State. The money from that deal helped him grow his business. Because Pacific Drilling did so well, he felt the need to branch out. This led to the creation of Pacific Holdings Limited, which became the main business of his growing company. Over time, Pacific Holdings turned into a company with stakes in many fields, including oil and gas, energy, real estate, and logistics. Its different units now make more than $1 billion a year. Some say Pacific Holdings was the true beginning of Adeleke's fortune, while others argue that it was just another smart move along the way. But one thing was certain: this wasn't just another business move. It was a move that would set the stage for something far bigger. In the 1990s, as Nigeria's oil sector continued to grow, Adeleke took a strategic step into the industry. Through Pacific Energy, a division of Pacific Holdings, he entered the business of power generation and oil exploration. He acquired controlling stakes in major energy firms and played a crucial role in developing Nigeria's independent power supply. Today, Pacific Energy is one of Nigeria's key players in the power sector, operating power plants that provide electricity to thousands of homes and businesses. In 2014, the company took over the Olorunshogo Power Plant Phase 1 in Ogun State, a facility equipped with 8 GE frame 6B gas turbines, collectively generating 304 megawatts. Additionally, Pacific Energy operates the Omotosho Power Plant Phase 1 in Ondo State, a gas-fired power project with an installed capacity of approximately 336.8 megawatts. Commissioned in November 2006, this plant contributes significantly to Nigeria's national grid. The company is currently developing what is expected to be Nigeria's largest thermal power plant, a $2 billion project projected to add 1,250 kilowatts of electricity to the national grid upon completion in 2025.
I'm building, almost completed by January, by the grace of God, my new power plant that will be the biggest thermal plant in Nigeria. It's a 1,250 megawatts power plant, will become operational in January.
While this plant is still under construction, Pacific Energy's existing operations have already positioned Adeleke as a major player in the industry, contributing significantly to his wealth through ongoing power generation contracts and partnerships across the country. If you're enjoying this documentary, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support enables us to continue sharing compelling stories like this one. Now, let's get back to the story. As Pacific Holdings expanded, Adeleke noticed that Nigeria heavily relied on food imports despite its rich agricultural resources. Hence, he launched Pacific Farm Limited, acquiring vast acres of land in Osun State to cultivate crops like rice, maize, and cassava. A defining moment came when a nationwide food shortage drove up the prices of food. With government incentives favoring local farmers, Adeleke doubled down on its investment, establishing processing plants to convert raw produce into market-ready goods. This move not only increased profitability but also positioned his firm as a major supplier to Nigerian markets. Pacific Farm's success led to partnerships with local grocery chains and international buyers, generating annual revenues exceeding $200 million. As his business grew, Adeleke faced logistical challenges in transporting goods across Nigeria's poorly maintained road networks. And rather than depend on third-party transporters, he launched Pacific Freightliners Limited, investing in a fleet of trucks and cargo transport services. During the fuel scarcity crisis of 2004, when transportation costs skyrocketed, Pacific Freightliners played a crucial role in keeping essential supplies moving. Government agencies and private corporations contracted its logistics services, ensuring steady cash flow. Today, the company handles imports, exports, and nationwide cargo transportation, generating annual revenues of over $150 million. There is perhaps no billionaire without an investment in real estate, and such could be said of Adeleke too. His entry into real estate began in the late 1990s when he purchased large plots of land in Lagos and Abuja at relatively low prices. He owns properties across Nigeria, including high-value areas in Ikoyi, Lekki, Banana Island, and Victoria Island in Lagos. Additionally, he has invested in international properties, including a mansion in Atlanta, USA, which he acquired to celebrate his 60th birthday. Today, his real estate portfolio is vast and diversified and is worth over $1.5 billion, generating $100 million annually in rental income. Nigeria's reliance on petroleum meant that the oil and gas industry was too lucrative to ignore, and so in the mid-2000s, Adeleke acquired oil distribution licenses and established Pacific Oil and Gas, focusing on petroleum trading and supply chain management. Today, Pacific Oil and Gas remains a key player in Nigeria's energy market, raking in $300 million annually. One of his major breakthroughs came during the 2008 global financial crisis when oil prices dropped and many Nigerian businesses struggled to maintain operations. With available capital, Adeleke expanded storage facilities and acquired petroleum reserves at lower prices, which he later sold for massive profits when prices rebounded. Well, you might think that would be all there is to the billionaire, and you would be wrong. Dr. Adeleke was equally involved in the banking sector. As Pacific Holdings expanded, he recognized the critical role of financial services in sustaining business growth. This led to the establishment of Pacific Bank PLC, which provided financial services that supported his growing business empire. As Nigeria's banking industry changed in the early 2000s, the Central Bank of Nigeria introduced new rules requiring banks to increase their financial strength. To meet this requirement, many banks merged to form bigger and stronger institutions. During this period, Pacific Bank Limited became part of these mergers, allowing it to integrate into Nigeria's evolving financial system. Beyond his own bank, Adeleke played a key role in shaping Nigeria's banking sector. He was made a director at Unity Bank PLC in 2006. The bank was formed when 9 private banks merged to meet new financial rules set by the central bank. As a director, Adeleke helped Unity Bank grow by improving its financial planning, reducing risks, and increasing its presence in Nigeria's economy. The bank expanded its services in corporate banking, small business financing, SME loans, and retail banking. His expertise in running large-scale firms helped him see how financial institutions may be utilized to support essential industries like agriculture, manufacturing, and commerce. Through smart buying and careful financial management, Adeleke was able to develop long-term wealth while assuring consistent cash flow throughout his enterprises. His financial sector assets alone are estimated to bring at least $200 million yearly, making banking one of his most successful investments. It doesn't need pointing out that wealth affords its handlers a lot of perks, privileges, and bragging rights. And why not? They worked for it. Though less publicized, Adeleke's wealth allowed him to invest in Nigeria's growing private aviation sector. He owns many private planes, which are also leased to corporate executives and politicians. In 2020, he bought a Bombardier Global Express 6000, a 19-seater private aircraft valued at over $62 million and noted for its long-range capabilities and state-of-the-art technologies, making it suited for international travel. In addition to that, he also owns a Bombardier Global Express 605. While it could be said that the Adelekes have just always been hot stuff in terms of influence, affluence, with eyes and pockets for the best of things, all this was equally a strategic move, as Nigeria's elite frequently require private flights, ensuring a steady revenue stream for the leasing business. His investment in aviation are valued at over $100 million, with yearly sales surpassing $30 million. Despite Adeleke's immense success, he remains grounded and owes his triumphs to spiritual direction and always looks for ways to give back to the people. This was why in 1996, he created the Springtime Development Foundation (SDF), which became the backbone of his charitable efforts, focused on 3 major areas: education, healthcare, and community development. Through SDF, thousands of students have gotten scholarships, covering tuition, books, and even living costs. These weren't just random acts of kindness. Adeleke knew that education was the most important tool for breaking the cycle of poverty. Having studied abroad himself, he saw firsthand what a great education system could do and was determined to bring those chances home. Beyond education, SDF has spent greatly in healthcare, funding the building of hospitals, giving medical tools, and supporting health projects in neglected areas. In communities where access to decent healthcare was once a dream, Adeleke's efforts have ensured that people get the help they need, saving countless lives. SDF has since helped hundreds of students to establish themselves as self-employed Nigerians, sponsor thousands through tertiary institutions in Nigeria, the US, and other parts of the world, and funded health-related activities by sponsoring organizations to visit rural communities across Nigeria. For Adeleke, giving back wasn't just about handing out money. It was about creating lasting institutions. That was why in 2011, he founded Adeleke University in Ede, Osun State. Unlike many other billionaire-backed universities built for prestige, Adeleke's vision was different. His vision was to build a school that truly catered to Nigerian students, giving world-class education at an affordable rate. The university is a representation of his belief in self-sufficiency, meaning that it doesn't just educate students but goes on to empower them with scholarships and global relationships that prepare them for the future. Today, Adeleke University boasts of thousands of students across various areas, making graduates who go on to shape businesses in Nigeria and beyond. Adeleke's charity goes beyond training and healthcare. He has given billions to religious groups, helping build churches, fund foreign projects, and back faith-based initiatives. One of his most notable gifts was a 1 billion naira given to the Centenary Endowment Fund of the Cherubim and Seraphim Church, headquartered in Lagos, as a tribute to his late mother, Madam Esther Adeleke, remembering her legacy of kindness and loyalty. He has personally backed community development projects, including road constructions, water supply projects, and rural electricity efforts with a goal to improve the very communities that raised him. In towns where clean water was once scarce, wells and boreholes now provide a steady supply. In areas where economic chances were difficult to achieve, his businesses have produced thousands of jobs, ensuring families can put food on the table. Adedeji Adeleke's story isn't just about wealth. It is about what he decides to do with it. From providing the funds for education and healthcare to providing support to faith institutions and entire communities, his impact is far greater than his business empire. And while most billionaires might measure their success in profits, Adeleke is one that measures it in lives changed, dreams achieved, and futures secured.